The newest cinematic is pure diamond because it made my nipples rock hard. Here's a quick video pointing out stuff that people may have forgotten or missed about this newest cinematic, Dawn Arrives. I'll refresh you on some stuff and point out why it's important too. Number 1. Wicktorio. You may remember him from the John Wicktorio event where you killed stuff and collected coins for the accounting he does. As a refresher, John Wicktorio is an NPC you can visit in Igla Town and is the mayor there. He was an acolyte and eventually retired and transitioned into being an accountant for the Montelli family if you take this NPC's story true. His wife died, and then after 20 years, his pet Echo died at the hands of thugs robbing him in search of documents. That is the story behind the event. With all that out of the way, we see him in what may be Septimont. If I were to guess, we may soon learn more about him due to him being the mayor of Igla Town, which is Cartethyia's hometown, and being an accountant with a seemingly shady and violent past. Considering he's based off of John Wick, well, I feel like we're gonna go through all of the movies as an homage. Even if we don't though, it is fitting that he may fancy gladiator battles and bets considering he tends to solve things with bullets. Number 2. The Etheric Sea. I noticed quite a few people were caught off guard at the Etheric Sea and seemingly forgot what it was. To refresh people, the Etheric Sea is something we encounter literally within the first hours of the game. It's made up of remnant energy, and that is what causes the formation of the tacit fields you farm from the TDs it produces. It's also why we see Retroact Rain in Huanglong, and it's why we see it in Chacona's showcase. Since we're seeing the Etheric Sea and Retroact Rain again, I think this will be very big story-wise. This is because it has been relatively absent, but also I think back to this line that Jian said, "To see phantoms, 2 conditions must be met.
Prior exposure to the rain, and a deep connection to the affected area."
Now that Retroact Rain and the Etheric Sea are making a comeback, I feel like I can expect to see more dire things like in Huanglong. This is doubly important too because of Cartethyia possessing powers of the Thornedian. It's important because Thornedian power increases the effect and the strength of Retroact Rain, and it's what caused the mass hallucination on Norfall Barrens back in 1.0. With that in mind, you can see how this could be exploited or a point to remember as we go on in the story. Number 3. The Thorned Crown. If you looked at Cartethyia's crown, you may notice something. Well, you could have noticed this detail back in 2.2, but you needed to do some independent digging to make the connection. With the recent Septimont teaser trailer, you see this scene which breaks the Thorned Crown and reassembles it into another one. You'll notice that the crowns are different in colors, with the first being that white and light bluish color reformed into a darker blue and purplish color. Well, literally look at Cartethyia transform in the newest cinematic and you'll see that match up, but it goes a bit deeper still because of Cantarella and what is said about the Thorned Crown. You'll find it in her Intimacy level 2 and it says this: "The deep purple, venomous crown when first placed upon the brow brings a sharp sting, yet the blood that seeps from the forehead nourishes it, making it shine ever brighter. Soaked in the blood and tears of countless souls, this crown of toxic thorns rises from the depths of the sea, symbolizing those who work silently against the chaos to support the weight of the celestial steed's tail feathers." When moving down further, you'll learn about the illusory dream being a counter to the crowns and, by extension, the Thornedian's whispers. From Cantarella's illusory dream, this happens to the crown. The whispers were powerless in the world woven by the Sea of Dreams, for it gently dissolved all discord. Amidst the colorful waves, the once harsh thorned crown was softened. So soft that it formed delicate folds resting lightly on my head. It became light and pure like the tail feathers of the celestial steed. This is important to keep in mind because, as we may remember, Thornedians do not die as long as civilization continues onward. It makes me wonder how much in control Cartethyia is and how potentially dangerous transforming into Fleur-de-Lis is, considering she is the Thornedian side's resonator. And we see that with her first transformation, the absolute destructive power the resonator of the Thornedian has, and the wariness Cartethyia has to use it. She has said at the end of 2.2 that she can control how it appears now, and that they are essentially one being now, but the appearance of something doesn't account account for the powers within the appearance, and as we all know from 2.0, looks can be a bit deceiving. She's been locked away and has a lot to learn, and has a lot to come to terms with, both from the past and the present day. I get the feeling that if Frolova or the Fraxidus can create or rush Thornodian events, like we've seen in Huanglong, they may find a way to manipulate Fleur-de-Lis's Thornodian power. Cantarella may be a very important person to remember, as she is the one who can silence the whispers in case unseen events may happen, willing or not. Number 4. The Knight. This one isn't as deep necessarily, but did you notice how Cartethyia has a soft spot for the Knight's tail? And did you notice Fleur-de-Lis's look and exhale at the boy as she holds the Knight? Remember, her hometown is Egla, which has root mythos based around knighthood, and you've probably fought the Mad Knight, which appears at night in the core of the city. Not only that, remember too, the history of Fleur-de-Lis was one that has parallels to a semblance of knighthood, and mirroring classic Arthurian tropes of things like chivalric duty to their lord. After all, she is the crowned embodiment of salvation, which is outlined in the codex you receive. She is to help people in need and lead them towards the Sentinel, and strike down the wicked as an act of penitence. That was the duty of her choice when she was crowned. There may have been more stuff, but I found this stuff more interesting and important due to people seemingly forgetting some of the world aspects of Wuthering Waves. I hope this was either interesting or helpful. Thank you for letting me take your time, like and sub, and be safe out there.
How boring.